There are a couple different ways to lift your Corvette C6. One of the things that you probably are gonna need are these pucks. These slide into the holes of the frame and it'll help you put the car on a set of lifts, a lift, or just a regular jack. To show you where these go, we're gonna go ahead and lift our C6 and we'll give you measurements and we'll talk about exactly where these are gonna go on your frame so you don't have to play any guessing games. We use the QuickJack 7000 TL system. Our system is for any of the cars, we move them on these ramps so it's a little bit higher. It's a little bit easier to see underneath the car when we push this under. It's easier to get all of this equipment aligned up. Sometimes though, with these sports cars, when they're super low, the jacks can't get underneath them. That's why having these low length and low height profile ramps can be a pretty good investment. So we put them in front of each wheel and now we're just going to move the C6 a little bit forward. Slowly, yep. Now we can look at the pucks. So these guys are going to go into these alveolar holes in your car. They're on the side. We marked where ours goes with tape. They sit right here for the back one and we'll measure it, just give us a second, but this is just the general idea. They sit back here for the rear on both sides. And then behind the front wheel, if you look back just a little bit, it will be this one over here. When you go ahead and slide these pucks underneath the car, notice how they're alveolar. So you're going to want to put them in the same way that it is designed up here. And then just to lock it into place, we'll twist it and it'll stay there. Now, these have a little bit of play. So you can move them up or you can move them back a little bit. And this will help aligning it if you're using a lift. Up this way, back this way. There's a little bit of play, a little bit of slot right there. Just note that, and we're going to use that to help it line up with our quick jacks because it actually barely just fits on here. With these ramps specifically, you gain about 8 inches of total ground clearance for the C6. And now that it's lifted, we can go underneath the car and I'll show off all of the jack points.
With us now completely underneath the C6, we can start looking at the back puck. The end of the puck starts around the 2-inch mark. So we'll just subtract 2 inches from whatever it is over here, and then you'll have the distance between this puck and that puck. So if we come over here, this one stops around the 42-inch mark. So you have about 40 inches between this puck and that puck right there. That's the distance in between them.
Now we're gonna take a look at the outside edge to the puck. From the edge here, that way you can clearly see it when it's on the floor if you need to. The puck is about right there. So if you measure it, it's going to be about, I would say 20 inches is a sweet spot. That's the exact parallel. So looking at it now, you can see that around the 18.5-inch mark to probably around the 21-inch mark, you got that range right there. And remember, it does slide back and forth. So that, I would just say round up to about 20 inches from here to there, and you'll find that puck. This is the rear puck. And now for the front of the car. So looking right here, checking out this panel, I've marked it here, and we'll just trace along until we hit our puck right about here. Looking at it, it looks to be about 16.5 inches, probably around 17 inches, we'll say that. Remember that it does have a little bit of wiggle room, both up and down. I think this one is at the lowest, could probably move a little bit up, but anyways, for here at this position, about 17 inches, you'll probably find that jack point to at least slide it in there. And lastly, let's take a look at the width. If you look from the inside, you can see I have it taped around the puck. Now, if we go along here, you can see that it looks to be about 6 inches, or is that 5.5? Yeah, I'd say 5.5 inches to the body line. So from the inside of the puck to the body, it's 5.5 inches. that is the width of that. Looking at the back one, remember we did position this one a little bit either more in or out, different than the first one, but this one seems to be about 5 inches. So when you move it either back or forwards, like you have the option to, it gives it about an inch of room from moving it forward in or forward out, and then of course forward up, forward back. And so with those pucks, you could safely go ahead and lift your Corvette C6. This works for the C7 and the C8. We'll have those pucks in the description below the like button. If you want to see more videos that we have coming up for the Corvettes, the Alfa Romeo, the Tesla, Americans, Italian cars, we got it all and a few more ones coming. But again, if you want to see all of that stuff, make sure you subscribe and catch us doing some cool mods to these vets.